All right. Richie, thank you so much. We're going to be going now to Chesa Boudin, who is live weighing in on what happened and transpired here tonight.
And it is a coalition that is deeply committed to justice. People come to this movement for different reasons, right? Yes. Our nurses fighting for health care to save lives. Our teachers and our educators fighting to make sure we can break the school to prison pipeline. All of our retired judges who dedicated their lives to administering the laws on the books and making sure justice is served.
That's right. That's
right. The labor movement that recognizes that until we enforce laws equally, including against billionaires in their boardrooms who systematically steal from working people, we can never have a true justice system. I grew up with two sets of parents. I grew up in two different worlds, right? One immersed in all of the opportunities of privilege, and another shackled to a existence mired in degradation and humiliation, one known to far too many Americans because of our addiction to caging human beings. And one of the things that I've seen over the course of this campaign, over the course of all the years that I've spent working in San Francisco's justice system, is that we have two cities. We have two systems of justice. Right? We have one for the wealthy and the well-connected, and a different one for everybody else. And that's exactly what we are fighting to change. Over the course of the last 18 hours and 18 days and 18 months, I've been everywhere in San Francisco.
Yeah, you have.
We made more than 10 different stops today alone. I don't know how our campaign team squeezed them all in, but they did.
Woo!
And no matter whether I was in the projects in Double Rock, at Balboa BART Station, in the Inner Sunset,
yes,
in the Mission District, in the Castro, all across our great city, I heard a righteous outrage from people who are frustrated with 2 years of pandemic, who are frustrated with corruption in City Hall, with people who are sick and tired of living their lives in masks and behind closed doors and having a city that fails to deliver on some of its core promises. And people are right to be frustrated. There's so much room for improvement. People should hold all of us to a higher standard. We must continue to do more better for people, whether it's the mother who was outraged because her son had been murdered years ago and was still waiting for justice.
That's right.
Amen, brother.
Whether it was the lady I met living out of her car who asked me if I could help her get housing. She begged me for housing.
Yep.
Where's the housing?
Where is the housing? Whether it was the man on the street on 3rd and Paloux who said he dedicated his life to fighting for environmental justice in Bayview Hunters Point, and he was still waiting for answers as to why so many of his neighbors were dying of cancer. People are angry. They're frustrated. And I want to be very clear about what happened tonight. The right-wing billionaires outspent us 3-1. They exploited an environment in which people are appropriately upset. And they created an electoral dynamic where we were literally shadow boxing. Voters were not asked to choose between criminal justice reform and something else. They were given an opportunity to voice their frustration and their outrage, and they took that opportunity.
Looking for someone to blame.
We've made mistakes. We've learned a lot. And I am so unbelievably appreciative of everybody in this crowd, of everybody in this movement. And I want to start by thanking the folks on our campaign team.
Yes.
Can we give it up? Everybody who joined our team. Some of them quit their jobs to do it. Some of them volunteered countless hours. Some of them spent unthinkable amounts of time away from family and friends, sleeping in a campaign office, sacrificing their own health, losing weight, gaining weight. In some cases, we're not naming names, don't worry. These folks, some of them young idealist activists, some of them grizzled ancient hippies. They joined our team not because they thought there was an easy path to victory, not because they thought we were going to outraise the billionaires when it came to fundraising, not because they thought there was another candidate we were running against who was worse. They joined our team because they believed in fighting for justice. Now, I was really privileged over the course of these last several months to win the support of so many different groups and people I could not possibly name and thank them all.
That's right.
Some of them were behind us because they really believed in the specific policies we were fighting for. Some of the ones that Supervisor Ronan mentioned moments ago. Others were in this fight because they recognized the dangers of recalls and the ways in which they undermine our democracy and take power and choice away from voters. Others were in this movement simply because they believed in the work that my team was doing around victim services and around protecting small businesses and increasing language access and standing for our immigrant community. But I want to reflect for one moment on a person I spent far more time with in the last few days than I'd spent in the last 20 years. A man named Reverend Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson was visiting San Francisco this past weekend. I had the opportunity to meet with him, to have breakfast with him yesterday. Maybe it was Sunday. The days are blurring together.
Sunday.
Sunday, thank you. I'm glad somebody's paying attention to my schedule.
More than your schedule.
And Reverend Jackson is someone who obviously needs no introduction, whose legacy will last through the generations. But one of the things he said was, no on H, no on hell. And Jesse Jackson, Reverend Jesse Jackson, has a custom, has a habit when he speaks of asking people to repeat after him 3 times. He asks you to say what he said, and then he says it again, and then he says it again.
All right, let's do it.
And so I want to ask all of you, in his spirit, in his honor, I want to ask all of you to repeat after me for a minute. We are not afraid.
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 Justice.
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 Is on our side.
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 Is on our